Texas. Not in the sense of just the fact that we've got something else that we're able to do, but that a restriction has been removed somewhat that's been in place for over 140 years, and that's the right to keep and bear arms openly in defense of ourselves and others. A lot of hard work went into that. And I know a lot of people, they probably see me or Terry or some of the other Murdoch getting interviewed, but we could not have done this without each and every person here, without the people that made the phone calls, the people that came up to the Capitol and talked to their legislators, the people that sent the emails, the people that walked the streets. When we first started this, we started June of 2013, shortly after my arrest, and we started carrying rifles all over Texas. And people hated it. We were told that we're hurting the cause. We were told that we're going to make it harder on everybody. We were told that they're going to now ban rifles. We were told all kinds of things that we needed to stop. And we didn't stop, and you didn't stop, and what we did was we proved that the sight of a firearm is not something to fear. That in the hands of a law-abiding citizen, you don't have to worry about it. When you see these kinds of firearms that we were carrying, they're not shooting up schools. They're not shooting up malls. They're not shooting up colleges. They weren't shooting up anybody. And I'm going to make a prediction here today. There's a lot of guns around me right now. I don't feel afraid at all. I think this is the safest place in Texas right now. My prediction is that we leave here and there's not a drop of blood on the concrete. So what I wanted to do, other than thank y'all for coming out here, I want to briefly kind of go over what the law really means. I think everybody here knows, but really what you can and cannot do. And for those that are here more out of curiosity that aren't necessarily a part of the rally, I want you to understand what you can expect. Only 4% of Texans right now have a concealed handgun license or a license to carry. That's one out of about every 27 people or so. That's a little less than that. But the number of those people who are going to open carry is very minimal as well. And then those that do open carry aren't going to always open carry. I'm not going to always open carry. I just want that right. And so what you're going to see out in public, really you're not going to see. And when you do, it's not going to be a big deal. I've been being in the military for the past 20 years. Every state that I've been to had open carry, even California, because that was a recent change, they banned open carry. But every state that I was stationed in had open carry, and never once did I have a problem or did anybody get afraid or call the police on me. One time in Walmart, I had a guy come up to me while I was in the toy section with my son and said, "Hey, have you had any problems with your open carried handgun?" I said, "You're the first person that's ever said anything to me." That's exactly what it's going to be like in Texas. I think that Texans are just as responsible, just as capable, just as law-abiding as 44 other states that allow some form of open carry. I don't understand why everybody is flipping out, because Texas is one of the last few states to have this law put in place, and it's just not a problem everywhere else. Like we say, it's safe everywhere, it's going to be safe here. You can open carry anywhere, basically, that you can conceal carry. There aren't any changes to the law about where you can or can't open carry. The only difference is, if you see a 30.07 sign at a business, that means no open carry. If you see a 30.6 sign at a business, it means no concealed carry. If you see both signs, it means don't spend your money here. 30.7 for open, 30.6 for concealed. I think right. You're good. Now, on campus carry passes in August. That is the only difference. You cannot open carry anywhere on a college campus. That includes the parking lots, the sidewalks. So even though you can carry a concealed handgun onto a college campus right now, and in August you'll be able to go through a door, you cannot open carry anywhere on a college campus. So I want to make that very clear. The other thing is that this is another object of, for some reason, confusion. the gun has to be in a belt or shoulder holster. It doesn't have to be on your belt or on your shoulder. It has to be on a belt or shoulder holster, according to the law, on or about the person. So if it says on or about the person, when you hear people say it's got to be in a belt, on your belt, loop through your belt, some of those things, that's just simply not true. A drop leg holster is a belt holster because it connects to your belt. Now I'm going to get a little absurd here. If I wanted to, I could take my belt holster and strap it to my forehead and it's perfectly legal. Right? So don't let people tell you that it has to be on your belt. Obviously you want it where it's going to be safe. So, that's pretty much it. Yeah, the good news is, early on we heard a lot of problems about stop and frisk here in Texas. A lot of these police departments over the last few months are changing their tune about that. I'm not going to get into what's legal and what's not, because that's up to each and every one of you, and there's differing opinions about whether or not law enforcement can stop you. So what I want to do is I want to address law enforcement out there. Do you really have so many officers and so many resources that you're going to divert those resources to a man minding his own business, eating a burger, or walking his dog down the street simply because he's open carry? Please don't do that. Don't put yourself in that position. We welcome the case law when you do, but don't put yourself in that position. Please respect our rights and we'll respect you. Now for you, if you're approached by law enforcement, be as respectful as they are to you. Okay, be good stewards of our gun rights, but by all means stand up for yourself. That's what this is all about, standing up for our rights. So, up here with me, there's a lot of different people from a lot of different organizations that made this happen. This was not an Open Carry Texas sole event. This was not a Texas Carry sole event. This was not a Come and Take a Texas sole event or Lone Star Gun Rights sole event. This was not only people that belong to organizations, but people who supported the cause in general. So these are just some of the leaders up here that fought for you here in Austin, that came up here practically every day to talk to lawmakers, to get people to sign on to the bills, to make sure they got through committee, to correct lawmakers when they were wrong about certain aspects, and to really push and make sure that they saw each and every one of you as they were deliberating what they were going to do this session. We're not done. We didn't even get what we wanted. Let's be frank, no gun rights were expanded this year. The only thing that happened this year is that those of you with a license don't have to cover it up anymore. That doesn't mean that more people now have the right to carry, because they don't. Only people that beg for that government license, pay that Second Amendment tax, go through the hoops that the government is putting your way, only then can you open carry or concealed carry. Those aren't rights, those are privileges. So we're going to continue to fight for constitutional carry. There are 33 states with unlicensed open carry, and as of this year, it went from 5 to 7 states with constitutional carry. Come on. And Texas wasn't one of them. So that's what we're going to continue to fight for. Yes, absolutely. Terry, I want to bring you up real quick. Actually, hang on, Terry. Hang on. Actually, what I want to do, I invited many different politicians and candidates to come here and speak, because these are the people that we have to look to get laws passed. I can't walk in here, submit a bill, walk it through committee, take it into the House, and sign it into law. It takes politicians, as lowly as they are. But what I want to tell you is, Brent Mays is not a politician. He's going there to represent each and every one of you, hopefully. He's a candidate right now for Senate District 24. The guy, he's not going to tell you this, but I will. The guy that is in that seat right now stood in front of constitutional carry. The guy that's in my seat right now stood in front of the Huffines Amendment that would have protected you, would have clarified the law that you can't be stopped and frisked just for open carry. Brent's going to change that. He is a no vote on anything that infringes on our rights, and he will help us get constitutional carry passed if he's put in the legislature. I want to introduce Brent Mays for Senate District 24.